This is Mark Anthony with Mercury Time Price Analytics. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. We're going to give you a special look at our SATURN GT40 algorithm. My friends, I've been trading for over 40 years, and this is one of the coolest things from a technical perspective that you'll ever see. We've got several core values in building our algorithms. Here's three of the most important. To build the most sophisticated, accurate, algorithmic trading tools available for individual traders, number one. Number two, to provide you with tools that are even better, and I mean better, than the institutional algorithms themselves. And thirdly, and maybe most importantly, provide a very easy, user-friendly graphic interface. Because look, it doesn't matter how sophisticated a trading algorithm is. If you need a team of PhDs just to figure out how to turn the thing on, I mean, what good is it going to do? You're sitting in front of your computer, you're trading, the market's moving. You need to make quick decisions. You need to have signals that are clear, that don't give you any ambiguity. What's cool about, and forgive me, I'm pushing 60 years old and I still talk like a teenager, but you know, whatever. What's neat about this is how easy the interface is. Now, it's real simple. You've got incredibly deep mathematics behind this. This is what's called a predictive algorithm. This does not exist, to my knowledge, on the marketplace for commercial traders, for individual traders. This is the stuff that you see very high tech at the institutions, the large banks. It's a predictive algorithm. And here's what that means. You take the slope of these oscillators. These are time price oscillators. If you're into WD-GAN, this will absolutely geek you out. Time is more important than price. There's no question about that. And what these time price oscillators do is they're a metric of the relationship between time and price. Now, if you just have fixed algorithmic pivots, and we have those too, we overlay them on the chart. We give you a lot of different tools to use. But if you just have fixed algorithmic pivots, they only have a certain level of utility because think about the mechanics of time. Time is both linear and circular. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, you look at a clock. It's round. There's the same number of hours, minutes, and seconds in every day. But it's also linear because you can't stop time and you can't go backwards. And that's one of the key concepts of WD-GAN. So what you do is you take the peaks and the slopes of these algorithmic oscillators. And those very peaks and slopes will tell you where the key future support and resistance levels lie. Not price, but the combination of algorithmic price and time. So for our members, we have a live chart. This is just one of the tools. We have a live chart that's got about 8 or 9 different algorithms on one screen. They're all easy to use. So whether you're a short-term trader or a long-term trader or in between, it doesn't matter. We put all the tools right on one screen. Now, why do we do that? Why would you want to look at longer-term tools if you're a day trader? Or why would you want to look at day trading tools if you're a swing trader? Well, because they have to confirm one another in order to be accurate, okay? So on our live chart, I was on the mic this afternoon after the Fed meeting, and I told our members, look for a high to come in at 34.1950 within a couple ticks. Where did the high come in? 34.1950. Now, why did I say that? If you go back to September 10th, the highest peak on the fastest oscillator on here, which is the purple one, it peaked right here on September 10th at 34.1975. Now, notice I'm not looking at the price peak. That was higher. I'm looking at the peak of the time price oscillator itself. It's right here where the arrow is, and the exact price where it peaks is 34.1975. You came within a tick. 34.1950 was your high. So we had other algorithms that showed that it could go up to 21 to 25 to 28. So we didn't just jump right in here, but I'll tell you what, I was of a mind to do so because I know how accurate these algos are. So it goes up here to 1950, and once it came down, we waited for just a little bounce. We got in at just under 34.11, and we took profits incrementally all the way down. Now, again, hopefully you can see on this video the crosshair. You put the crosshair right atop the peak, the highest peak, going back 5 days. That's the key here. Highest peak in the purple oscillator, it gives you this price exactly. Now, how do you tell when it's going to break down and really start to run to the downside? Well, you take this same structure, you take the first trough after this peak. See how cool this is? You take the first trough after this peak, that's right here at exactly 33.93.25. Now, where did, and not only did it start to accelerate to the downside, but I want you to look at right here. This is where it found support the first time it came down into that this afternoon. Right here. The trough subsequent to the peak. Right here. So you come down to the tick. Now, we also have these orange trend oscillators. So you don't have to be worrying about, well, you know, should I be looking at this peak or this trough? It's right here to the tick. This is moving, and this is the value of our service. You see this stuff on your screen in real time. So you don't have to sit there and crunch a bunch of numbers or look at 18 different charts. Although we give our traders a ton of different algorithmic quote-unquote looks, this is literally all you need. This is all you need. Whether you want to day trade or swing trade, this is literally all you need. And by the way, just a quick segue, and I'll keep this real brief. If you haven't been to our website, it's mercurysignals.com. If you want to try out a trial subscription, use the code WEB30, W-E-B-30. It'll give you a 3-week trial subscription at the lowest rate we have ever offered. Put in that code, it gives you a $30 discount. And right now we're offering the SATURN GT40 algo, which in and of itself is $148 a month. We're giving it to you for free. All right. So what I'm showing you right here, you get it for free. So back to our regularly scheduled programming. Here you have the trough. Here you have the first support. It comes up here exactly to the peak. And the cool thing is the peaks and the troughs of these oscillators, they're tied together. All right. So once you get the peak up here at 34.19.50, you know that if you break the price level of the trough that was subsequent to it, right after it, that's where it starts to really accelerate to the downside. That's exactly what it did. Now, it gets even cooler than that. If you take this same peak right here, that gives you this. If you take, let's see, if you take the spot where, and I should have mentioned this in the beginning, there's two metrics: the peaks and the troughs of the oscillator slopes themselves, and then also the specific price points where the oscillators cross over. So you can see right here where the purple crosses down through the dashed white line. That is exactly, it's literally right there. That's the spot. So we took profits into that. We took in the way we trade is we take incremental profits along the way. And eventually get down to the run or the last piece, and then we put the trades on algorithmically. We take the profits algorithmically. There is no guesswork to this stuff. All right. And it takes a lot of the heartache out of trading when you're not having to make subjective decisions. The mathematics tell you the best places, the ideal places to take profit. Now, here's where it gets really cool. You get the low down here into the trend algo. There's two trend algos on here, the two orange ones. The solid line, orange algo, trend 2. This is trend 2, this is trend 1. Trend 2 is a longer cycle. You can see how more gradual the slope is than the dashed white one. Now, again, forget about interpreting the slopes. It's right here for you. This is where you got your low, you got price acceptance back above it, and it scoots right here to the tick at the trend number 1 oscillator, and you get this move up. Breaks this. Everything here is tied together. All our systems are designed to work together. Whether you're looking at 2 different algorithms, they work together. If you're looking at different mathematic metrics within one of our algorithms, it all ties together. I mean, it's the math is absolutely sublime. It's a cool word. I learned that from the last Matrix movie, right? Like I said, I'm pushing 60 and I'm still a kid. And that's, it's a great blessing to be young at heart, because working 18-hour days when you're doing something you love does not seem like work at all. Now, here's where it really gets cool. And I'm going to zoom in on this in just a minute. But remember, this spot right here. Now, we took profits on this trade when it came down here into the number 2 trend oscillator. Made a low of 75.50, came back up, made a higher low at 77. So once it started going back up, we got out. We took profits on our last piece, on our runner. Now, I don't like to trade. I don't like to enter trades, initiate trades in the last half hour of the day, especially a day that was this wild. We actually re-entered the trade short at 347. Now, let me show you why. Again, I mean, literally, how cool is this stuff? Price comes up here. Now, I know you might be saying, well, markets, and it's, this isn't hard to figure out. I mean, if the breakdown came at 93, then that's where it's going to stop. Would you have been willing to bet 13 minutes into the close that they weren't going to jam this thing straight back higher? See, I mean, it's not as easy as saying, well, that's where it broke down. Let's reshort it. Look what you have right here. Look at the dashed orange oscillator. And again, this is why time is more important than price. You get a move down literally to the tick, to the trend number 1 algo oscillator. Where does it come back up to? It went 1 tick over it, 1 tick. So when it came up here and it stopped, we reshorted it, what was it, 90, 92? And we took incremental profits, and when it came down in here, that was when we got out. Now wait, what is it they say in the infomercials? But wait, there's more. Just before I got on the tape, we reshorted it again at 86.50. I'm not even going to tell you how many handles we booked today. You know how the disclaimer works. Past performance is not indicative of future results. But how sophisticated does an algorithm have to be that you would have complete confidence re-entering a short at 347? You see the time down here, 347. And we re-entered that short 1 handle below this high. Took incremental profits, closed it out before the end of the day. Just before I came on the mic, we reshorted it again. Now, let me ask you a question. And we don't get salesy with this stuff because it's not my nature. Look, I'm about as blue collar as it gets. I'm not one of these fancy PhD knuckleheads. I grew up in coal mining town. My uncle worked in a coal mine. My grandfather worked in a coal mine. My great-grandfather worked in a coal mine. I'm as blue-collar redneck as it gets. But even though we talk funny, sometimes we can do some engineering stuff that makes your head spin. All right, now, but I digress. But we don't like to get real salesy because our stuff does this every day. And if you'd like to see evidence of that, you can go to our website, mercurysignals.com. You can follow my Twitter feed at MC2085. But go to our website, and just to give you a ton of examples, I'm not going to do that right now, but go to our website and click on Chart of the Day. I'm actually a day behind. I still have to post yesterday's. But just go through those charts. It is freaky. And that's, our systems, we've got an ESNQ system, we got a Bitcoin system. These literally are the same algorithms that the institutions use. Now, how can I make that claim? Well, how can our stuff be this accurate every day if it's anything other than what the institutions use? Now, let me prove the point. Let's say you and I and every individual trader in the country, we all pooled our money. Could we make the S&P futures stop to a tick? If we all got together and said, here's what we're going to do. Into the end of a Fed day, we're going to make the tape stop going up at 34.1950. We don't have enough money to do that. Well, who does? You guessed it. This is what they're using. This is what they're using. And a redneck guy from a coal mining town. Look, I gotta be completely frank with you. I'm not smart enough to figure this out. This is all divine inspiration. All the glory goes to God. Period. End of story. And I don't want to get into. I don't want to get off the subject. I've had too many crazy things happen in my life to believe anything other than the good stuff comes from God and the dumb stuff comes from me. All right, but it's. And I could literally go on for over an hour. And they're actually on YouTube, there's other videos that on this, just this Saturn GT that run over an hour. But let me leave you with this. If you had this type of algorithmic metric running on your computer screen, how much better would your trading results be? How much better would your trading results be if you knew with complete confidence that on a day like today, when price stopped at the tick that it stopped, that was the green light to short the tar out of this thing? Now, you don't short it going up into it. You wait for confirmation. We didn't try and front run this and short it at 34.19. We got in at 34.11. 34. I put the trade out at 34.11 to go short. My entry was 34.1075. And we booked the profit in 4 pieces all the way down. And we knew when it was time to get out because it stopped here, came up, made a higher low, and it was time to get out. And by the way, after it made the higher low, you knew for sure that you wanted to take profits once it came back up through the tan dashed oscillator. So there you go. There's your Saturn GT40 predictive algorithm. Unbelievably accurate. And if there's anything easier to use than that, I mean, look, even if you forget everything that I mentioned about the slopes. Oh, by the way, let me show you one other thing here. This solid white line oscillator. Take the trough right there. Okay, you see where I got the crosshair? Now look to the right. Where was the exact low tick today? Exact low tick, 75.50. Oscillators don't go sideways that often. When they do, it's important. Exact low tick today. Right there. And you can see it. So the other thing that's interesting is when you get these oscillators to get synced up together, those are like you have right here with the purple and the white. Those are very important levels. So needless to say, you break that tonight, it could get a little bit disorderly. Not predicting that, but again, this stuff it's graphical. All the math is behind the scenes, and it's like point and shoot, click, boom, there you go. Listen, thank you so much for taking the time. This was supposed to be a 5-minute video. We're almost 20 minutes. I just want to give all the glory to God for this. And I believe me when I say that I am saying that because that's what's in my heart. We do not use our Christianity to sell anything, period, end of story. If you never go to our website and you don't have a relationship with God, or maybe you did before and you did what I did and you ran in the other direction for a long time, don't do what I did. I almost died in March of 2019. And when I got to the day, and I'm going to keep this quick, when I got to the day where I was so sick I couldn't get out of bed, doctors didn't know what was wrong. And when I got to the day that I was so sick one night I couldn't get out of bed, and I said, Lord, I don't know if this is it. If you're ready to call me home tomorrow, I'm ready. And I got to be careful because I get choked up every time I say this. And said, but if not, I'm going to change the way I do things. That was March of 2019. Next day I woke up, there was nothing wrong. It was like nothing had even happened. I suppose when I said I'm ready to come home, if that's what you want, I finally turned it over, finally let go. Shortly thereafter, I started a Bible study. Now, if you do some research on W.D. Gann, you'll find out he started in a very similar manner, and I'm not comparing myself to W.D. Gann. He did what he did with a piece of graph paper, a pencil, and a ruler. I'm doing this by the grace of God and with the aid of sophisticated computers. But the point is, I did a Bible study, Old Testament. I said a prayer, and for the life of me, it just came, I didn't even speak it. I thought this prayer, and I don't even know why. I said, Lord, please help me understand your divine math so I could have a deeper relationship with you. Help me understand you on a level that I don't understand. I mean, you can't see God. He's there, but you can't see him. But his nature is all around us and everything he created. God is the originator of math, of physics. He's the great mathematician. You're looking at some of his math, and that is a true story. God bless you. Thank you so much for your time. God bless you and your family, and we hope to see you again soon. Thanks for watching.